Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's premium review in which we are taking a look at the Soviet Be-6 sitting at 5.0 battle rating. Fantastic gunboat, let's say. It's a gunboat that can take a beating, and it is one of those planes, so I have to fly more bombers again, I guess, because I did have quite a bit of fun in this plane. And this plane has 23mm turrets, two towards the back, one in the top, one in the aft, and one in front here. That's a single one. The other two are doubles, and it's just very lethal guns. Very lethal guns these days, and I quite like it. The plane is also quite sturdy, and yeah, she's a nice gunship. Of course, float planes, hydroplanes, they don't have that big amount of bombs. So bomb wise this plane isn't spectacular, but that is not what the plane is designed for, um, or what is useful for in War Thunder. That is basically being a gunship and making use of your 23mm cannons. Those things are fantastic. Now let's look a little bit at this plane and see what she can do. The maximum speed in this plane at sea level without WEP is 357 kilometers an hour. Without WEP, and 366 with WEP. And for the rest, that's not fast, by the way. For the rest, good luck getting to the higher altitudes. The climb rate on this plane is atrocious, really bad, and with the overheating, which is bad, it is very difficult to get to higher altitudes and climb at slow speeds. So you want to climb at a bit of a decent speed to limit the overheating, and by doing that it takes a century. And when I was climbing, I was at 3,000 meters. I tapped out a little bit because it was already taking 10 minutes, and I came back and the engines were yellow. They were overheated and gone, and I was at 4,200 meters. I wasn't even at 5,000 meters or 4,500 meters. No, it just absolutely terrible, the climb rate. So good luck getting there. I don't have the speeds on the higher altitudes for you. This plane is lucky to get there. Of course you get there when you get an air spawn, but otherwise it is impossible. Top speeds in a dive is 476 kilometers an hour for the red line and 550 before she rips apart. Also the pontons rip off at 440 around that speed, so that is no issue. Losing them is also not a problem for landing. They're just in the way anyway, and you become a little bit more performance wise. You get a little increase without the pontons, but for the rest this plane is not good in a dive either. Control stiffening, well, let's not even talk about that. The roll rate is absolutely bad to begin with, and once you get a little bit of speed under your belt, it's just absolutely terrible. So there is no discernible ticks either in the roll rate. It's just bad, and it very quickly becomes atrocious. It is you don't want to be in a dive in this plane anyway, because it's impossible to roll out, and it does have average diving speed. So from 350 you're quickly on 500 and you will already be ripping stuff off. So you don't want to be rolling in a dive. The stall speed in this plane is actually quite nice. Only started stalling at around 100 kilometers an hour, which is quite good, but of course it has no function in this plane. The firepower in this plane is great. You have 3 turrets, one with a single 23mm NR-23 cannon with 100 rounds. It's a forward-facing gun, and then 2 twin 23mm NR-23 cannons with the aft one has 225 rounds, and the other one at the top has 250. So, and you can those two setups are quite good. You can easily just tap your gun a little bit, let it recover, and you will never have to reload. The 2 torpedoes on this plane, if you want to, 8 250 kilogram bombs, 8 500 kilogram bombs, and 2 1500 kilogram bombs are the loads you can choose from, which is good, I guess. You have some variety, and you can attack naval vessels, which is also good. Acceleration, let's get into the performance of this plane, which is quite very bad in overall. The acceleration in a straight line is atrocious. In a dive, it's actually average, not to begin with. Initial acceleration there is not good in a dive, but it becomes average once the plane starts to speed up a little bit. The energy retention in the horizontal is bad, really slows down quickly, and in the vertical it's atrocious. Now we have a climb rate that is atrocious, a turn time that is atrocious and bad with flaps. The flaps do rip off already at 300 kilometers an hour, which is very early. So really, it doesn't really do much except at the lower speeds. You're safe below 300 kilometers an hour. 275 is safe spot, definitely. Roll rate, bad to atrocious. It is just not fantastic. So overall maneuverability is very bad. There's also bad overheating. The plane overheats very quickly, and that does require a lot of management. You quickly get to the amber, especially on the oil, and the engines then quickly follow after that, especially while climbing. Climbing is not good for this plane at lower speeds. It doesn't help at all. The effect is bad on this plane. And durability is good though. So that's one of the strong points. The plane can soak a shit ton of damage, and very good when it comes to that. This plane basically is a base bomber slash gunship. You have 8 500 kilogram bombs with 4 500 kilogram bombs taking out a base. So you can take out 2 bases with this plane. And that's alright. And the gunship part is where the true joy in this plane lies. Those 23mm guns are very good. I'm flying with Hitman over there. He is one of the better bomber pilots in the game. Spends extensive amount of times in bombers, and he also says that this plane is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, what he can do in a bomber, well, it's just absolutely fantastic. He really specialized in that. What I can do in a bomber is all right, but it's nothing compared to him. And if he says this thing is fantastic, then it is fantastic. And I also noticed it in the results. I have a 2.5 to 1 kill death ratio in the few matches that I flew, with basically bombs thrown in every match on bases or on a column. I've seen this plane, like here, taking shit ton of damage from a twin Mustang and still survive. So the durability is alright. You just need to get the 23mm on point, which I don't here yet, but I will get him eventually. But if you practice a little bit with these guns and you get the aim right, I could have shot this guy way earlier. And that's what it is, right? I mean, like Hitman over there, he had a few 3 kill matches, 4 kill matches in this thing while we flew, and that is because his aim is on point. He is an experienced, maybe the most experienced bomber flyer in the game, and he's got his aim correct. And when you have that in a plane like this, it can net you the same results as a good fighter can. It's just that awesome of a plane when it comes to that. So gun shipping, guys, that's the thing in this plane. Get to the bases, drop your bombs, and after that you'll be gun shipping in this thing. Sometimes before that you don't always get the opportunity, but once you kill 1 or 2 fighters, you make your way clear to the base. You got to be a little bit smart in that, of course. Don't keep flying in a straight line. Use your plane correctly. Show them your back, your ass when they come at you, because that's where the sweet spot is, especially when they're a little bit above you. You can fire with 4 23mm guns at the opponent, which is absolutely devastating firepower. And yeah, and have a joy. This is definitely a silver lion grinder for those of you out there, especially if you specialize in bombers and you are good at that. And yeah, so it is an absolute recommendation to get this plane. Yeah, especially noteworthy if you are indeed that bomber pilot that loves to be a gunner and use a plane like this as a gunship. It is ideal for that. Now, of course, there is planes with better placement, but this plane has 2 twin 23mm guns at the back, and they are absolutely devastating. Good times, good times. Well, you can see already the results here. Research points on point. 57,000 silver lines. Very nice. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now, conclusion about this plane. It is a slow plane. It is not very maneuverable. It doesn't do very well in a dive. It is not climbing very well. It overheats. It has bad turn rate. It doesn't roll very well. But it has fantastic turrets with the 23mm guns, especially from the back. Twin 23mm and at the top, and if you can get those guns to work simultaneously, you have 4 23mm shooting at planes. The bomb loads are okay, and it is durable, and that makes this plane a gunship. The bombs are less important to the overall result. You will be shooting enemy planes with this thing, and if the more specialized you'll get in gunnery and in bomber piloting, you will be shooting them down more and more often. And then your base bombing is only a secondary role. So you try to fly towards the base, try to get some bombs off. But if you don't, that's fine as well. Don't expect anything from this plane when it comes to performance. But expect something from the guns. They are the sweet spot of this plane. And that's where the joy is at. Gunshipping in this boat is fun. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.